welcome to Ridge Life. I have got a lot to do today. I just got home from work and the sun is already setting. I've got some big news. We're talking bunnies and butts today. Did he just say butts? Yes, bunnies and butts. I've got a lot of chores to do this afternoon. We got some things we got to do with our baby bunnies. And guys, I've got some amazing news about this 8-point buck sitting in this cooler right here. CWD test results came back, not detected. Woo! 3 deer so far here harvested on the ridge. This is the biggest one so far, this big 8-point buck, and we get to process it tonight. We're going to show you how we do it. Ooh, that's heavy. Oh my goodness. That's so heavy. Before we start processing our deer that's been wet aging, we have got to get our baby kits moved over to the Taj Mahal. That's right, today is Baby Bunny Moving Day. The kits are 3 weeks old now and they are ready to move over to the grow out hutch where they'll have more room to run around and play. Gives mama a little space too. She's still feeding them morning and evening, but for the next 3 weeks they'll be in there running around growing. She'll have room to get away from them. And then at 6 weeks, that's when we wean them. That's when I bring Cupcake, I bring Mama back over here to her hutch, and the grow-outs can stay over there until they're 12 weeks old. Now we're going to bring them over one at a time, starting with the kits and then Cupcake last. So let's go ahead and get one, bring it over. I got a nice little cute white one here. So cute. Oh, look at the cute white little bunny. So cute. Look at those eyes. Okay, get him inside here, one at a time. I'll get Cupcake last. That was a white one. Now we've got a chinchilla. That's that chocolate color. I believe that's what everybody calls that, is a chinchilla. Isn't he so cute? Don't know the sex of them yet, male or female. We'll be checking those pretty soon too. We'll give you an update on that. But we've got 5 kits to move over. Normally they have a lot more than that. Normally they have, 8 to 11. She was kind of fat though. So really 5 was pretty good. She had no stillbirth. All of them lived. That's great. A little late in the afternoon here, guys, but you got to do what you got to do when time permits. So here we go with 4th one, another chinchilla. So cute. Okay, here we go. Come on there, buddy. There's 4. Get the 5th one, the little white one. Last white one right here before we get Cupcake. Such a cute little baby. Such a cute little baby. All right, get in there, big guy. And now it is time for Cupcake. Hopefully she doesn't destroy me now, but we'll see how I can do with her. Get her eyes covered up here. See, you gotta cover their face up like that, and they're a lot less likely to tear you up with these giant nails they've got. Oh my goodness. But cover their face up. Open this door here. If I can get this, there we go, get this open. And see if I can do this without her tearing me up. There we go, good job. So she's in there, and we'll see how they're acclimating. I still gotta get their Timothy hay, get their water set up and their feed, but I think they're going to enjoy their new digs. Timothy hay in their manger here, and they love this Timothy hay. So let them have that, and then get some feed in their big old 5-pound feeder over there. I think it's a 3 or 5 pound, I forgot which size that is, and then get some water set up here. But they are loving looking around. Start off with this little lick feeder here. See, they lick this little lever right here and the water comes out. Works really good. I can fill it from the top, from the outside. I just set it right here. See, all right there, right in the very center. Pull the top around there. And that holds that on, and they can lick that from the inside. I'll show you that in a second. We'll get this big one on here. This will be for Cupcake to use. Set up higher for her, but it's just the kind that has a little stainless steel ball in it, and she just licks it and the water comes out. And I've got another one right here sit right here, and we'll put this one right there, and then all of them can get to that one. So 3 different levels of water. But you can see they're starting to slowly get accustomed to their new digs here. A couple of them have came out. It has gotten dark on me. I see a full moon out there, and I got a light on the camera just so we can see what's going on here. But they're gonna do just fine. I'll check back on them here tomorrow. You can see them, they're all coming out so sweet. Again, this is 3 weeks, new digs, 3 more weeks, it'll be wean time, get mama back to her hutch and let these guys enjoy their own lives. We have our venison in the house and we are ready to process it. A lot of you ask, what is wet aging? Tim, I hear you say wet aging your venison. I've got a video for that, exactly how I do it. But what it is, I quarter up the deer. I get a large cooler, fill the whole bottom of it with ice, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 inches deep. And then I start laying the rump roast down and the shoulders down, silver skin down. That's that connective tissue that protects the meat. I lay that silver skin down, meat side up, and then I lay the back straps and the tenderloin and the heart and all those really good cuts, meat side down, silver skin up. I leave the silver skin on it, some of the tallow. Tallow is the deer fat. You don't want any of that when you finish processing your deer. I'll show you. But then I just cover all that with ice. Cover all that with ice all the way to the top of the cooler. I prop the cooler up a little bit on one side, leave the drain open, and I do that for 2 to 3 weeks. That's right. Keep feeding that top ice. And really, it's not wet aging. You never submerge your meat in water. Oh no, that's terrible. You never submerge it. The ice as it melts is draining through the meat, out the drain the bottom. All that gaminess, all that blood, all that comes out the bottom. And you can't really wet age in a refrigerator as effectively because a refrigerator doesn't operate at the temperature you need to keep the bacteria from growing. Okay, so cooler on ice, keeping it really, really low. If you turned your refrigerator down that low, you'd start having ice develop. So you're just right above that freezing temperature there. So we have got our materials prepared up. I've got a Browning knife set. You got to have a real sharp fillet knife. Make sure you've got it sharpened up. Materials to keep your scraps in, the meat you're going to, then we'll vacuum seal it. So we're going to start cutting off all that fat, cutting off all that silver skin, get it processed up into the cuts I like. I'll show you some of those, and then we'll get it vacuum sealed and into the freezer. You're gonna like what we finish out with packaged for this big buck. Let's go ahead and get all this ice off the top of here. Big old chunk. Nero, get back, buddy. You can't have any of this, man. All right, so get down to our venison. I had some ice packs on there as well. But you can see this cooler is full of meat. Let's start with a cut you're probably pretty interested in. How about the deer heart, venison heart? Now, a lot of people slice this up like little donut rings or onion rings. I've got a different way I'd love to show you. So we've got a nice sized deer heart here. One of the first things we got to do is get all this connective tissue and ventricles out of the way. So just cut the end of that off. Again, that's just the tubes that go up to the lung and all that, and blood goes flow. So you see all this. We need to get the insides cut out. Once you've got the end cut off there, get you a nice, very sharp paring knife, fillet knife, something really sharp. I'm going to cut the inside of that all the way out. Again, that's just going to be the inside of that heart. Has all those ventricles and connective tissue and little fingers, if you will. I'm going to cut all that out, get that out of there, and then we'll be able to slice the heart open and open it up like a book. Once we have all that cut out, what I want to do is you look at these natural lines that run along the heart, okay? These natural lines. So what I want to do is slice right along that natural line there all the way around. Nice, slicing it open. And you can see that is how the heart muscle runs. So we slice that, and we'll slice it all the way open, all the way around, and then we'll have the heart opened up like a book. So we can just slice it right along that natural line, and you can see we do that, it is opened up. Like I have steak pieces here now. Once we have it open, again, I want to cut off all the connective tissue on the end, get all that cut off there. I'm going to switch over to this knife, cut all that off, get all that all along the edge there. And you'll see on the outside there's the white fibrous material as well. Now, one thing that's interesting is the very center, we cut most of it out. There's these little bitty tendrils, If you look at these little pockets, see those tendrils right there? We want to cut all those little tendrils out. And that will make this be smooth like a regular steak. Look how lean this meat is too. That's super lean. Flipping it over, again, here's that white fatty material. So you want to just slice all that off. Slice it all off, clean it up as best you can. And that will make a much better to cook and better to eat piece of heart. We can see here, once we got the heart laid open, we've got 3 independent steaks. And you can do this as one big one, lay it open. You can do it as in 4, the ventricle sides. I like doing it in 3. Again, you flip it over and you see none of that white tissue. And this is like one big steak. Love it. Woo, let's do a piece you've all been waiting for. Look at the size of this back strap. Oh my goodness, this thing is huge. It's bigger than my cutting board here. So you can see the back strap is just a giant chunk of meat. Now, we can cut this little piece off here if you wanted just this back strap. I like leaving this piece on. It's real tender as well. But what we got to do is get all of this silver skin off. I'm going to cut this into 3 sections. That's how I like working with them, in 3 sections. Get them about equal sizes. So that way when I do, I can freeze these individually and then pull out one nice chunk for a steak. We can wrap it in bacon, do whatever you want to do. But we have got to get this silver skin off here. So what I like to do is get right under that silver skin. Just as thin as you can get. You might not be able to get all the way across, and you tilt the knife up and slide it on through. It helps if you've got a really sharp knife. So you can see how that silver skin, this is what's tough. This is not good to eat. That is pure deliciousness. So once you get it cleaned up and you have a delicious, pure meat section of back strap, again, this is the loin of the deer. Tenderloins on the inside of the body cavity. Along the back strap is where we get the loin, and this is so tender, so sweet. Cook this right, you'll never go back to beef. Let's move on to our top sirloin. Top sirloin is really the quadricep of the deer. It's that big section right on the very front of their hind leg, and it comes out in a giant chunk like this. And what I want to do, there are natural meat separations, but this makes a really good steak. You slice it across the grain, make great steak. So we're going to clean it up and just leave it as is. And then whenever I go to, after I vacuum, I'm going to vacuum seal it all in this one chunk like this after I clean it up. And then when I go to thaw it and prepare it, I will cut it into steaks. So we just want to get this top layer of protective tissue off the top. Get that off there. Get it cleaned up, and this, you can see if we were to slice this, there is a separator right there, a natural separator, and this could be two big pieces. You could actually have top sirloin and sirloin, but we're going to keep them together to have one big, nice, juicy steak. On a cow, you separate those, you got really, really big steaks, but on a venison, you just leave it the way it is. So I'm going to clean up this little connective tissue and prepare this for vacuum sealing also. Ooh, look at this chunk of steak here. This is, again, the sirloin, two big, really tender piece, a fairly tender piece. Not quite as good as the back strap, but we slice this up across the grain. We have some delicious steaks. The final cut I want to show you is the round, or the rump roast. And the round is two sections. You've got the top round and the bottom round. Top round is actually on the inside of the pelvis. Whenever you open your deer up and you open the legs up like that, the two pieces that are closest to the center on the inside of the deer are the top round. Of course, we flip, look at all this tallow. Look how fat this deer was. And this tallow, this fat, is like wax, and it is terrible. This is where you get your gamey taste. This is terrible. You want to get every bit of that off of your meat. But look, so if we look here, this would be the top round. This is the bottom round. You can look, these things, they just pull apart. They're separated, regular muscle connective tissue. And look, I can almost just pull that apart from the top round to the bottom round. So what we're going to do is just clean up get the tallow off of it. And I'm going to leave, again, the top round, the bottom round together. I can make jerky, I can make burger out of the bottom round, I can make steak out of the top round, or just a wonderful, wonderful roast. So keep these two sections together. We'll vacuum seal them that way as well. We have got our venison processed. Look at all this back strap, tenderloin. We've got round top sirloin. We've got heart. And of course, we have lots of hamburger and jerky made up. We are going to mix that hamburger meat and hamburger meat with beef fat. About an 80-20 ratio of venison to beef fat makes some delicious hamburger. Be sure to check back on RidgeLife to watch that process. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this fun day we've had on What's Up on the Ridge. Be sure to stay tuned for the end. I got some beautiful scenes of some beautiful scenery, creek here in Tennessee. If you've never been to Tennessee, this is a beautiful, beautiful state. So thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We'll see you soon. If you haven't subscribed to RidgeLife, take time to do so now. Hit the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video comes out. And as always, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife.